Coach, I guess, what's the most frustrating part about this win coming right off the bat?
Just the number of times that we had a chance to tie a game or separate a little bit, get our serve going, and we just kept doing it to ourselves. We take a hitting error, miss a serve, just kind of fumble through a point and just let them off the mat. And there were so many chances that we had, and we just didn't do it. First set we get down 11-6, we come all the way back, and we lose a close one at the end. Second set we're down 14-7, we fight all the way back, and it's the same thing. And we just can't get out of our own way right now. And so, yeah, that's frustrating.
They had obviously had a great block, but how much did it come down to communication, too, on your side of the court, do you think?
Well, I don't know that, I think for us as hitters, we just have to understand what they're taking away and be able to hit something else. And, we work on this throughout the week, and the game plan is set up, and, we have our shots that we like to hit, and we're not doing a good enough job of just working on that block. And that's something we just got to get better at. Last 3 matches, it's kind of been the same story. And we've gone from being this really, really clean, low-error team to now our offense is really struggling, and a lot of it is because we're not working around the block.
What kind of fire did Emily Hill bring to the court, and how do you think others are kind of looking at her as how she's leading by example?
Well, she does what she does every day, and there's a reason why she's so good, and there's so many things that we ask her to do for us, and she does them every day. And I think there's this the sense that when we get into trouble, we know what we're going to do and how we're going to let her help bail us out. But honestly, we've got to get everybody into that same mode and that same mentality where we can kind of take care of points, and we don't need one player to kind of help us when we're out of system or whatever. We've just got to do a better job of managing points and taking care of the ball.
Do you have an idea of where Brooke's confidence is at? She was swinging pretty hard on some set points in crucial moments.
I don't know. That's something to ask her, but I think we've been pretty good about working with her, and she's super coachable. So when they take something away, we give her a coaching point, and she comes right back and does a good job. And so I think more than anything, you're seeing that her success early on has led for teams to game plan for her and really make sure there's a block on her and not let her get away with anything. And now it's time for her to take another step forward.
I know it's kind of tough, but are there any positives you can kind of take away from this?
That's a good question. I'm frustrated right now, and I know our team is too. I think the only positive right now is we're going to get them again. We know that we've got a better game inside of us. We know that we've shown that we're a better team than this. And, for whatever reason, these last 3 matches, we have really been in our own way. And as soon as we clear that and figure out how to force the other team to beat us, then things are going to get back on track.
Is that a situation where it's something you can fix in practice, or is it just something you have to do in a match where you can kind of say, okay, we're finally out of our own way?
Practice is about messaging. It's about setting a tone and putting us in the right environment. It's really hard to replicate what we're going to see on game day, but we've got to train for it, and we've got to have the right mentality about how we're repping and how we're holding ourselves accountable to mistakes in practice and that sort of thing. But when it comes time to really do it and score points, we've just got to find another gear.
Are there any positives you can kind of take away from a match like this?
I think a positive we can take away is that we know how much better we can be, in that tonight we just didn't show it. We would show glimpses of it, plays of it, but we couldn't string a whole set together.
Coach Greystone's been talking about it, you guys have been talking about it, but just the block of Candace, I guess, is it more of a frustration deal, or is it more you guys know that you had something but you just couldn't find it today?
A little of both. We knew that they were going to be a long athletic team and that they were going to get in our face pretty early, but we also knew that we needed to be tougher and that we needed to hit the shots that were on our scouting report and that were a part of our game plan, and we didn't do that all the time.
I know everyone's going to kind of look at the sweep, but the fact that y'all battled back, I guess, what did y'all feel you did in those moments to kind of get you back and kind of get that momentum back on your side?
Yeah, once we were able to work around their block, we were able to score, and that's what kind of got us back in those moments. And then it all kind of started to come together with our serve getting tougher. Our block was able to pick up, but we just couldn't put it all together.
I know y'all have had double-digit block counts. Today you had 6. I guess what do you feel was missing today, or was it just a matter of you guys kind of maybe trying to adjust to some other things?
I think we were trying to adjust. Our block is normally one of the strengths of our game, and recently it hasn't been since we got into Big 12, so that's definitely something we're going to work on this coming week.
Did you learn anything about this team today, I guess?
Our team?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can take away just how much better we can be, and that there were moments that we felt like we could really go and get them and take a set, but we just got to take it. It's got to be us, and we've got to go and get it. So I think that's something we can carry into next week.
What do you kind of tell your team in between sets when you're so close?
We really just say that, like, we are so close, and I think one of our messages was we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot. Like, we climb out of a hole that we've dug ourselves just to dive back down into it, and so we just got to play more consistently.
As senior and one of the leaders on the team, do you kind of feel like you take ownership a little bit of, like, trying to get the team to battle back and close out a set?
Yeah, I think our whole starting group really takes a lot of, our whole team takes a lot of ownership in that, and even the bench, whenever it's a timeout, like, they're coming in giving input, and our downtime today was really good in between points, but we just got to be a little tougher.
Emily, what kind of spark do you think you brought to the court personally today in those later?
Sorry. I was just trying to, be a leader by example, and I'm a pretty laid-back person, and even when we're doing good, I'm pretty reserved, so I was trying to be a little more outgoing.
How do you think the team responded to that when you were out there swinging hard at every point?
I think, they look at it and go, oh, we can do it too. Or at least I hope that's how they look at it.
Well, as Katie and Coach, I guess what are some positives you can take away if there are any? I know the bounce back, I guess, or the rallying, I guess, seems to be kind of the theme here.
Mm-hmm. I think for sure that we can fight back. We just have to work on finishing those, because at the end we make little silly errors, and like what Katie said, just shoot ourselves in the foot.
Is that something that you feel is kind of what happened last year, because you guys were at that kind of moment and then you couldn't find that way to kind of close things out? Do you kind of feel like that's kind of coming back to you, and how do you kind of, I guess, maybe counteract that?
I do, maybe a little bit. I think it starts in practice, and from the very first ball in practice, we have to be clean and efficient, and because in a game, that's what we do. We kind of start slow, and honestly, that's kind of how practice is. We start slow, and then we pull ourselves up.
How would you kind of describe the team on the floor? Because I know it's got to be deflating to kind of get back in, tie it up, and then obviously lose it, but you guys continue to kind of keep that energy up.
I think we do a good job of trying to keep looking forward and not getting super down on ourselves, because when you do that, it's going to be terrible.
What kind of a litmus test was this for y'all? First place team at home?
I don't know. I just think we need to be tougher. Just all in all, that's something we've been talking about a lot recently, is being tougher. And when a team pushes us, we have to push back.
Did you have any personal goals or team goals as far as conference play, and have you accomplished them, do you think?
Personal goals, just be more efficient than last year, and but it's more centered around the team. I think for me, we want to make it to the tournament, and so we have to win some more games to do that.
Going back to Carlos' question about being a litmus test, and Kansas just beat Texas this week, and now you're going to be playing Texas next Saturday. I guess, does it in a weird way kind of give you confidence knowing you didn't play your best match today, but you're still pretty much right there with this team?
For sure. They didn't, blow us out of the water any set. We hung right there with them, and I think, it shows us that we can hang right there with Texas too.